this is Manin Rabu from Batam. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Sela Sadakau from Vatukola. I only listen to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Golavinaka, I'm Vale and I'm working at Golden Pearl Resort, and I love listening to Gold FM because it plays a really wide range of classic music.
I'm Saini Sakio from Kashmir Lotoka. I like Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Good evening, I'm Akusita Tale. This is FBC News. Tonight, Fiji's 7th team to Rio Olympics named. Vishnu Mohan appointed new chair of FSC. And health officials briefed about new laws. There are not too many surprises in the Vodafone Fiji 7th team to play at the Rio Olympic Games next month. Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama announced the final 13-member team in Suva last night. Rohit Deo reports.
Chasa Bermalua. Joshua Tuisova.
5 weeks of intense preparation has paid off with the selection of the best 13 from 19 great players to the Rio Olympics. Masivesi Dakuanga and Viliame Mata were the surprise inclusions in the team, with Dakuanga named as the travelling reserve. Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama reminded the players that if making the final team was hard, tougher days are ahead.
Make no mistake, the rugby in Rio will be the most competitive you've ever played. Because to win gold for your country is the greatest feat a team can achieve. And in Rio, Fiji will be the team to beat. If you don't bring the intensity, if you don't bring the desire to win, your opposition will.
Ryan says picking the final team wasn't easy, but he is happy that he picked the best.
I told them that this is the start of their journey. They've managed to get into, let's face it, this is the hardest team in the world to get into in rugby sevens. They've done the first step, but they all know now that to be successful now, to wear the shirt with pride, they've got a lot of hard work, a lot of concentration, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of ability to be able to switch on, flick the switch, to concentrate when you need to, and relax when you need to.
The side has another 2 weeks before they depart for Rio. Fiji is pooled with Brazil, Argentina and USA at the Olympic Games. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
Prime Minister and Minister for Sugar Voreqe Bainimarama has announced that Vishnu Mohan is the new chairman of the Fiji Sugar Corporation. Abdul Khan has since relinquished his position as chairman of FSC but will continue in his role as the CEO. Mohan is the former Australia and New Zealand Banking Group CEO for the Pacific and Fiji. The Prime Minister decided to appoint Mohan after extensive consultations and discussions within and outside the government. Mohan is no stranger to the sugarcane industry, as he worked extensively with the FSC during his time as ANZ CEO for Fiji and the Pacific, and was instrumental in developing a $91 million export finance facility for the FSC. The appointment will come into effect on the 8th of next month. In a bid to help medical practitioners and those in the industry keep abreast with the changes in the laws, a mini-seminar was organized by the Fiji Pharmaceutical Society today at Pacific Harbour. Close to 40 people were present at the mini-seminar from across Fiji. Ellen Stoltz reports.
The Fiji Pharmaceutical Society President, Reshnika Sen, says the seminar aims to help better the skills of those in the industry from across Fiji.
We as health professionals, we tend, our whole lives are sort of around science and how to treat patients, how to react this, how to make that, and injections and all these things. So when it comes to business running, we sort of lag behind our counterparts from commercial side. Reason being because they are more equipped with that.
The mini-seminar was also an opportunity for doctors as well as pharmacists and dentists to learn more about the new changes that have come into effect in the industry. Dr. Sanatha Tinaiseru has been practicing medicine in Mba for about 5 years now and says the seminar was very informative.
These laws have allowed us to tackle management problems, taxation problems, because we're not really trained to do any of these, in medical school. So this is an eye-opener. So we can run our small practice more efficiently.
Participants at the seminar were informed about the new laws that have been recently passed, as well as the recent amendments to existing laws.
We can actually update all these people about all the amendments that are made, and hopefully we can gain something out of it, and members can actually go back and do the right thing.
The one-day event also educates participants on how to improve their managerial skills and the need to comply with taxation laws to effectively serve the public and operate a successful business. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
A group of villagers in Rokoroko in the Ra province have taken the onus on themselves to rebuild their lives following the aftermath of tropical cyclone Winston. Out of the 26 houses in the village, 17 homes were partially damaged and 9 were completely destroyed during tropical cyclone Winston. Pranita Prakash reports.
Rokoroko village has a population of 126 people with small-scale farming as their source of income. Each of the 9 families whose homes were completely damaged were assisted with a $7,000 e-card. Through the government's Help for Home initiative, 5 carpenters from the village completed the construction of the first home just within 10 days. One of those affected is Wangani Vanua family, who have just moved into the new home. He says rebuilding their home would just have been a distant dream if it wasn't for the Help for Home initiative.
Without this help, we wouldn't be able to rebuild the house and bring life back to normal, as what we've been living for the last decade. And after that aftermath from Winston, we are so worried on how we will bring our life back. So from that assistance, we would like to thank the government for their great help.
Rokoroko Women's Group President Elena Navuwaku, who has been living in the village for the past 46 years, could not hold her emotions knowing she will soon have a roof over her head. She also shared the experience the night Cyclone Winston struck the village. She says they are now waiting for hardware supplies so that work could start on the new home.
I think that we got someone to look after us. Thank you very much for the company. My house, my farm down there, nothing left there. All my plates, my pots and everything went out, and the flood come and take it all. My washing machine and my TV all gone.
More than 23,000 people affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston have been assisted under the first phase of the Help for Home initiative. The second phase of the program is expected to start soon. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Coming up on FBC News, police appeal for info about infant's death. Oldest Chinese in Fiji celebrates 100th birthday. Stay with us.
I love listening to Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy. I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Sala. I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Hulamila. I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM. It rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. An investigation is still underway in relation to the death of an infant whose body was discovered in a bus parked at a garage in Wainibokasi, Nosori 2 weeks ago. The Fiji Police Force has also released photos of clothing in which the infant's body was wrapped in and put inside a black shopping bag, and it was left on the seat of the bus. Police are appealing for information from residents and commuters who travel between Suva to Nosori Town, Cuva and Waivo villages between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. on Saturday the 2nd of July. Police says if anyone recognizes the clothing to come forward and assist them with the investigation. Fiji should be promoted as one of the best nations for international conferences. This comes after the Fiji Higher Education Commission successfully hosted 2 big international conferences back-to-back this year. Sainia Nimboila reports.
Positive remarks continue to flood the Fiji Higher Education Commission from participating countries that attended the 2 international conferences that were held on our shores.
It's my pleasure. I don't know, maybe my words will fail actually to express the high-level, world-class organization of the forum that the Council has done, what the Fiji Council has done.
It's welcomed by the Fiji Higher Education Commission staff. They are very nice. They treat us nice, very good. And I'm sure that I will come here in the future.
Oh my gosh, the Fiji hosting was so wonderful. I have never met such an incredible group of hosts that have made everyone feel welcome.
Dr. Sobi says this is an encouraging move to host more following the success of the International Network of Quality Assurance Agencies in Higher Education Biennial Forum and the Asia Pacific Quality Network Conference and AGM.
Been very positive, very encouraging to receive all the positive responses that we've had from many of the international delegates that were at the 2 conferences held back-to-back, the Inkwahe and the APQN conferences. Overwhelming positive response from these participants, and they commented not only on the beautiful physical facilities, they commented as well on the beautiful natural environment, and a comment that kept recurring was the warmth and friendliness of the Fijian people.
Sobi says it has also contributed to Fiji's tourism sector, with more than 300 delegates from around the world attending the conferences. Sainia Nimboila, FBC News.
Hard work, staying humble, strong love for family and years of sacrifice are the secrets for keeping 100-year-old Waikun Yesito going. Tonight's Successful Fijian features the oldest Chinese woman in the country who has made Fiji her home since arriving here in 1956. Celebrating her 100th birthday in Suva last night amongst family and close friends, Sito's history unfolded before our very eyes.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Born in the Kwanton province in China, Waikun Sito never thought she would one day leave her homeland and call Fiji home. She married Sito Ki in 1937 and had her firstborn David Sito 9 years after. It wasn't long until her husband decided to leave China and move to Fiji in search for a better life.
Not too long after my father left Fiji, Mom and I left China in 1950 to go to Hong Kong so that the in-laws can look after us. We were in Hong Kong for 6 years. You might ask me why 6 years? Because it took 6 years that my father to save enough money to send for us. So in 1956, we came to this beautiful country.
The first few years was not easy. Back in 1958, her small nuclear family opened a milk bar in the corner of Nina and Mark Street in Suva, then expanded into a wholesale business at Waimanu Road before opening a kiosk at the busy Suva market. Not only did the business bloom, but the family grew as well, with the inclusion of Gerald Sito, born in 1959, and the youngest of the sibling Lynette Sito, born in 1962.
Those days in Fiji, life was tough, very tough, because people, and the economy was very slow, and people got earning very low. See, a week's wages would be £2, which is $4. Can you imagine any of you can live on $4 a week? So that was the thing. But then, hey, those days people save up so that they can expand a better life. Right? My father came to Fiji with nothing. We came to Fiji with nothing.
One of our cousins had an apple, and he just had a bite of the apple, and he wanted that apple thrown away. Mom said, just leave it in the sink there. I'll dispose of it after you people go. But after our cousins left, my sister and I fought over that apple, and we just only cut the top part of the apple where the child bit, and me and her had a meal out of that apple there. That's how life was so tough.
Despite the difficulties they faced, the Sitos are thankful they were brought up in a strong and strict family with disciplined parents in a one-bedroom flat where they cooked, ate and slept in the same room. Mrs. Sito has been credited to her endurance to raise her children right and ensure they don't experience a harsh life of poverty when her husband passed away.
Everything is worth it. I mean, it's good to have tough parents because you know what life is about. Nothing is impossible through hard work, honest work, not to cheat people. That's where we are today. And if everybody go by that tenet, they'll be successful in life.
For now, she's reaping the rewards of her labor and upbringing as she watches her family flourish and expand their business around the country. Celebrating her 100th birthday in front of more than 400 guests and over 45 different courses of meal last night, the Sito family believe this is their time to give back to the backbone of the family.
It's not easy. Changing her 12 midnight, 4 in the morning. Sometimes, you know, like me, I love my girl. 4 o'clock in the morning, try and wake up and change her diaper. It's not easy.
But what keeps this humble, very modest, reserved and hard-working woman going?
If you want longevity with your parents or any loved ones, you must show commitment, dedication and love. That's what we give. And they reciprocate too as well. Because if you give them that love and dedication and you look after them well, they will feel that they are wanted in life.
David, Gerald and Lynette have spent the past decades looking after their mother without a complaint. Their advice to Fijians is not to send their elders to senior citizens' homes. The Sitos are advising Fijians to take care of their parents so that they too can live a long and healthy life like Mrs. Sito.
Successful Fijians was brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Up ahead in sports, the views of the coaches on the 7 teams named, and Road to Goal Committee hands over funds collected to FRU. We'll have this and more after the break.
आपको खरगंगा की रंजिला का नमस्कार। रेडियो फिजी की सुंदर सुंदर यादों का खजाना एकदम बचपन के दिन याद करा देते हैं।
हमारा नाम जोनी नायडू है, हम रहता है मलोलो में और हम टैक्सी ड्राइवर है। हम सब टाइम अपन टैक्सी में रेडियो फिजी सुनता प्रोग्राम।
हम सिंगाटोका के हैं, हमारा नाम है रोजी। हम लोग यहाँ पे रेडियो फिजी 2 सुनता है।
राम राम, मैं रेमस प्रसाद बोलता हूँ, तब होता मैं कोई रहता हूँ। मैं जब भी सुना रेडियो फिजी 2 ही सुनता हूँ।
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
Welcome back. This is FBC Sports. The Vodafone Fiji 7 side name last night is the best we could have had. These were the sentiments of coach Ben Ryan. Rohit Deo tells us more.
The team that will carry the hopes of winning our first gold at the Olympic Games. Coach Ben Ryan says there are some players who proved him wrong and forced themselves into the final squad.
After London Sevens, I sat down with Chris actually and we said, right, this is what I think my 12 might be after London. And there's about 4 changes from that. There's guys, because I did that team and I thought, okay, this is where we are, but I think, you know, if these guys get themselves fit in this next period, then I think they'll make our 12. And some did and some didn't.
Ryan says he has no regrets with the squad he has selected.
Competition in training is so fierce that we will get a natural pecking order. And I said to the boys, you know, I think when they look at the team, they'll all have to look at it and go, yeah, you know, we've got the right team here, because this is boys that have been clearly performing day in, day out. And and it's a nice mix. So no, we're in a good place at the moment.
Hosea Kolinisa will once again captain the team and says they are well aware that all teams will be out to beat Fiji.
For goal, and every team has gone on and prepared really well. They'll be watching footage of our series win on the last 2 years, and I think they'll come up with plans thinking that they can control our team. But we've been working really hard these 5 weeks with Ben, Chris and Jeremy, and working really hard on our fitness and on our game plans.
Just 3 weeks remain before the Olympic Games kicks off. The first goal for Fiji is just 6 wins away, and every Fijian knows that the team selected can deliver that on any given day. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
Former netball player Rachelin Daveua has made it to the final Fijiana team to play at the Olympic Games. Daveua beat all odds to make it to the last 13. Ana Maria Rongiza will captain the side while Chiowana Sauto is a travelling reserve.
About this opportunity to take the girls to Rio, and I suppose in some respects I'm itching to get the next 2 weeks out of the way and get on the ground in Rio and get the games underway. I'm immensely proud of the girls that we selected. It was harder than I thought it would be at the beginning of the year, and it would have been great to pick all 18 girls, but sadly that's not the case.
The women's competition of the Olympic Games will be played from the 6th of next month. The Road to Gold Committee last night handed over their collection that they have been doing for the 7 teams. The committee executives handed a cheque of $344,335.83 to the Fiji Rugby Union President and Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama. The funds will be used for preparations travelling, while a portion is also expected to be given to the players. Madhuwata lost to Naitasiri in the second last round of the Skipper Cup competition in Lambasa yesterday. The visitors put up a hard fight to come out victors 49. Eleanor Turangivu reports.
Basic errors cost Madhuwata its last game of the Skipper Cup competition on home soil yesterday. Despite leading 6-0 at halftime from 2 penalties, they failed to keep the momentum going.
We'll be back to the drawing board, and then we need to practice a lot on those mistakes that we do commit today. It cost us the games against Naitasiri. Nevertheless, we will pump all our resources towards the last game that we have against Tabua for next week, that we need to battle for the top 8 position comes 2017.
Naitasiri scored 2 converted tries during the second half, while Madhuwata only managed a successful penalty conversion, taking the score to 14-9. Naitasiri head coach Chochiri Nakama was not happy with Naitasiri's performance.
What I expect from the boys, I couldn't see today. So, the discipline that cost us so much, and we couldn't maintain the continuity because of too much mistakes, small mistakes.
Madhuwata now hopes that it will beat Tabua in the last round of the Skipper Cup competition this Saturday to keep alive its hopes of remaining in the top 8 of the Skipper Cup points table. Eleanor Turangivu, FBC Sports.
The Highlanders leapfrogged the Chiefs on the Super Rugby points table after a 25-15 win last night. Fijians Waisake Naholo scored a super try, while Patrick Osborne also had a hand in one of the tries. Competition in the Vodafone Senior League is getting more heated up as the tournament enters the final stages of round robin. The Navua football side thrashed Tailevu North 13-1 in the Southern Zone today. They led 7-0 at the break. Lami currently leads the Senior League with 12 points. And meanwhile, in the Under-17 League, Rewa beat Suva 3-2, while Navua edged Nasinu by the same score. Brief early morning showers was experienced over the Central Division today. Fine weather prevailed elsewhere. Lambasa was the warmest today at 32 degrees, followed by Ba, Nandi and Savusavu in the higher 20s. Suva was the coolest at 28 degrees. For tomorrow, brief early morning showers will be experienced in Suva, while other centers can experience fine weather throughout the day. And looking ahead, find apart from isolated brief showers about the eastern parts and the interior of the larger islands, cool at night, and at sea southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas, moderate southerly swells. And recapping the main stories tonight, Fiji 7's final 13-member team to Rio Olympics has been named. Vishnu Mohan has been appointed as new chair of the FSC, and health officials briefed about new laws. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. And this week's poll question, can the Fijiana win gold at Rio Olympics? To answer, visit our FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizensize@fbc.com.fj or share with us via our Facebook page, FBC News, or if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. Good night.
Alango Katonasia Tugotua, Awonia Saurara, although we will take you on a TV and a market Tawa. Although Talitagana, Warrona, Bula FM, and Namandu and Set.
Pulamana Viti, Nadango Palacio Materia, one may Nana Bulubulo Tabiuni, Ausatuga Nandi, and the Talita in Warrongo and a Bula FM. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 and seri.